Running, I'm reaching my goal. Nike flashing, trades in the clear. Golden just squeezing, I see no fear. Currency flowing, surfing the waves. Super alpha, omega leading the way. Enigma bot whispering all through the night. Making moves and everything's tight. Charts on my canvas, I paint it with trades. Candlesticks dance as the profits cascade. Bears and bulls, they come and they go. But I hold my ground, watch the capital grow. Risk and reward, it's all in the game. Algo box dying, no need for fame. Late nights grinding.
Lower bands touch NQ on the 89. Double delta NQ on the 4. Lower bands touch NQ on the 38. Enigma short on the NQ4. Double delta NQ on the 9. Lower bands touch NQ on the 38. 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 Double delta NQ on the 9. Lower bands touch NQ on the 38. Fib.NQ on the 4. Double delta NQ on the 4. Double delta NQ on the 6. Double delta NQ on the 4. Lower bands touch NQ on the 89. Enigma long on the CL3NQ on the 4.
Silent, no sound to make it. Look on high, no surprise. They hold the line. Thinking about our whispers, now's the time. Moving silent, no sound to make. Elbow box humming, eyes on the brake. Super alpha, omega, I'm reading the charts. Confluence hits, I play it smart.
How about now? Test 1, 2. Just 1, 2, 2. Alrighty then. Welcome aboard, everyone.
Lower bands touch NQ on the 89.
And why do our traders absolutely love it?
Michael Othrew. Are you ready indeed? Happy Friday. Let's go. It is full auto Friday. So let me zoom back here and let's get a view of all the charts. Got full auto kicked on there this morning. A couple minutes late, 9:10. We are 20 minutes from the US Open. And full auto is on here across 6 instruments: NASDAQ, ES, RTY, and the Dow. What I like to refer to as the nerd,
on the 4.
NERD, and gold. We got liquid gold and gold, crude oil and solid gold. Let's see. Is there issue with the live stream? Let's check again.
Upper bands touch NQ on the 38. Divergence
Upper
down
bands
NQ
touch
on the
NQ
9 on the 38.
Okay, let's go up here to the big picture. And let's see, I think I've got a better view for you here. Yeah, this will work. Let's refresh it. Okay, let's check the news. So 8:30, we're done with 35. Okay, 5 minutes after the open, we've got an FOMC member talking. Seems like they just talk all day now. What's the deal? And then 10 a.m., new home sales. That's going to be a Red Star news event there. This is going to be the big one here. It is Friday, early in, early out. Now, normally we're going to try to be done by 10:10, right there at coffee time on a Friday. Several reasons for that choice. One big one is just really personal. Like, get to other things. It's Friday. Spend some time with the fam. That kind of thing. So across the top, here are our 6 instruments. There's the 4 of the nerd, NASDAQ ESRTY Dow. There's our 2 pluses. With our system, you don't have to go all the way down in there into the strategy tab on NinjaTrader and deal with parameters and all that kind of stuff. We've got that right there on the buttons on your chart. Makes that a lot easier, in my opinion, on getting things set up. So filter criteria down below. I'm currently running mine what's called side to side. Fiddle zone is off on these, but I'll be running fiddle zone filter on my cyborg strategy. In fact, let's go ahead and turn it on. We have a few minutes now. We got 30 seconds till 9:15. So around 9:15, I'm going to come down here and turn this panel on. And this is where I'm working here on the live streams. By working, I mean pressing buttons, playing the video game like everybody else. So coming down here, if you are new with this, on the left-hand side, pay attention to the standard operating procedures and goals list on the left. 5 or 6 trades in 60 to 90 minutes. The 3-step entry rule. It's very easy, in my opinion. We've got the arrow. That's what I kind of call local. Local to the instrument that I'm trading. That little arrow right there is going to tell me one of my filter directions. The bias on the day is not always super important because there are opportunities to go against the trend of the day on a regular occurrence throughout the day. The main thing is the nerd. That's over here on the left, our direction filter. And when those two agree, which currently they are, currently we've got red on the nerd and we've got red arrow. So right now, the best plays inside of the fiddle zone are going to be in the direction of those two. So that's our 3 strat. That is my, wow, can't talk here this morning. That's my 3-step criteria.
On the NQ4.
Okay, it's 9:15. So let's go ahead and zoom in, and I'm going to enable these. And if you have questions on this stuff, I'll get those answered for you. Currently on my lower time frame area here, I'm running on confluence level 1. That's those L1 through L4s there around the quantity area. So you can see L1 is selected right there. So I am L1 confluence on the full auto. I'm going to arm long and arm short, which means this will take trades in both directions. I'm going to turn full auto on, and now I have 2 options here, and these can both be turned on. Super AOs on automatic and Enigma on automatic. It's Friday, so I'm doing both. We're going to run both of them here. I'm going to turn quantity to 2. Now, that's not going to do 2 contracts because I'm going to select some ATMs here. So I'm going to go, actually in the morning here, I'm going to start out, I'm going to go 4 smalls and let it get some My plan is to get some quick wins there before the US Open. And in that first 5 minutes of wackiness that goes on there between 9:30 and 9:35, then I'll become more active by hand here, what we call cyborg trading, where the system is executing and so am I. And then we've got full auto running on a separate account of mine on the top. So when I bring this chart down, this is going to be kind of representative of the full auto bot system that's running across those 6 instruments that we talked about earlier. Those are going to be running. And then I'm going to be working down here, executing discretionary and in combination with the cyborg entries that I can turn on and off over here on the left hand side. For the new folks, make sure you guys come on Monday.
Double delta EM on the 4.
We've got Mentorship Monday, where we go through more of the basics. Speaking of basics, it's Memorial Day weekend, so don't maybe show up on Monday. However, come back and you've got a extra day on the weekend here to finish out the boot camp. If you've not finished the boot camp, make sure you do. Vinny, if I'm operating manually, do I also use L1? That would depend on which algo bar you're running on. So I'm running on a higher algo bar here on the 4s. So the rule around that, rule of thumb, is L2. Okay, L2 is the standard around here. That is what the system was originally built on and designed around, is L2. If I'm a little more risky, I'm going down here to L1 confluence, and I'm a little riskier. I've got a bit more of account size, and I don't know, I want to see more than less. Does that make sense? I would rather see one like this. Like this one could probably get filtered and maybe not fire if I had L2, right? If you've got L2 on right now and you're on the 4s, can you guys let me know? Do y'all see this 23.3? That one might not have showed up. I'd rather actually see it and get information from it. I'm not as concerned with, I just want to see every winner. I'm not trying to filter it down to where every single one of them is a winner. I'm gleaning information from them even as they fire while I'm executing manually. So I've got it on L1. So yes, the rule of thumb there, and if it's me, I'm generally going to be on just L2 for all other criteria, especially if I'm on a lower time frame. But on the 4s, I'm almost always going to go down to a 1.
Enigma long on the YM on the 6. DCDMYM on the 4.
Okay, market is getting wild. Oh, I have real-time protection on, don't I?
NQ on the 38. NQ on the 89.
Make sure I got real-time protection turned off. Okay, market's going nuts.
NQ on the 89.
Feels like did the open start early?
Touch NQ on the 38.
It's 9:20, 10 minutes before the US Open. And
touch NQ on the 30.
Looks like we got some news potentially. I'm going to turn on financialjuice.com and let's listen in here and see if something just got released or what's going on there. Trump alert.
Fib.NQ on the 9.
German Foreign Minister on Trump tariffs says both markets would suffer. That's why we want 2 further negotiations.
Enigma long on the NQ6.
And US Treasury Secretary Bessent says, I would like to have Apple help the
Low
US
impact
to make
news event
semiconductor
FOMC
supply
member
chains better
Musalem
again.
speaks. Low impact news event FOMC member Schmid speaks.
Listening to the markets, rhythm as it talks. We're in sync, even if you're offline.
Divergence up NQ on the 9.
Stay aligned. Who would have thought that trading could be done by telepathy? The candles are rising, my screen's lighting up. What I would do if I had the algorithm, I'd double the delta too. You know I'm just one trade away. If you want it, simply algo box and play. Miles apart, alpha omegas are connected. And I alert you.
US
Two
Treasury
ping double
Secretary
delta
said
and 30 on the
I'm
4.
not expecting the US Senate to change the budget bill much.
today. Hold to opposing signal, let it sway. The numbers tell me everything you're thinking. I imagine the enigma already kicking. Who would have thought that trading could be done by telepathy?
Besant adds not expecting a need for much tax bill change in the Senate. Just to repeat.
Okay, so we got a super AO right there,
Just got to be careful.
but we are inside the fiddle zone. So good example here to show where if you've got the fiddle zone filter turned on, it's automatically going to filter those for you. And that's what I've got going on right there. So fiddle zone on.
Delta
It didn't
NQ
just
on the
fire
4.
off that super AO right there. Although, yes, it ended up being a winner. However, technically, you see how it kind of came outside of the cross a little bit there. So that could have gotten stopped out before it went to its target. And that happens particularly inside of that fiddle zone. I told you it's kind of like you're going to pull back a rubber band, pull it back, and let it go. It's nice and crisp and hits its target quickly. But inside the fiddle zone, it's you're going to fiddle in the middle like a wet rubber band, just kind of flopping around.
Target filled.
Okay,
Target
that was a
filled.
terrible entry.
9:35 a.m. Eastern Time. We're expecting comments from both
DCDM NQ on the
Target
6.
filled.
Schmid.
Target
Okay, so that happened really fast, and we got our target. That was automated.
But there will be
Upper
a
bands
Q&A.
touch NQ on the 38.
US
So-
Treasury Secretary Besant says
Okay, market is going nuts all of a sudden. I could feel my system.
Says that most countries
lagging
are
all of a sudden.
negotiating in good faith except the EU.
So we came outside of the fiddle zone,
Double
and then
delta
Enigma
NQ
fired off there,
on the 9.
and it took that one. Now market, like I said, it's going
Upper
very
bands
quick
touch
all of a
NQ
sudden
on the
So
38.
Besant saying
So that 9.5 fired that off for me. So I will count that as trade number 1. Trade number 1 was a winner.
Double delta NQ on the 4.
Okay, the bots are up over 1,000. They're at 1,500.
Double
I'm gonna
delta
flatten
NQ
all
on
on
the
the bots.
Upper bands touch NQ on the
All right,
38.
so the bots are already up 1650 this morning. I'm gonna lock it in right there. I told you guys early in, early out on a Friday.
Double delta.
I got
NQ on the 6.
I'm
Upper
done.
bands
I mean,
touch
we're done.
NQ
I'm
on
at
the
2,000
bands touch
approximately
NQ
on the day. The bots whooped my tail again. 1650. Well, they didn't beat me yesterday. Now, we played out a long time, but they beat me in the morning. Beautiful set of plays there. Went ahead and hit flatten all. There were multiple trades open there. And we'll take a look at the stats there later on those. So the bots were done before we even started the morning. Now what I can do, I'm going to go ahead and put those over to Sim.
FOMC member Musalem speaks. Low impact news event FOMC member Schmidt speaks.
And turn them back on just to see how they would have done if I had let them run through. What do you say?
Upper bands touch NQ on the 38th.
Oh, there was a crude oil trade in there too.
Upper bands touch NQ on the 38th.
Crude getting excited there this morning as well. We are still 2 minutes before the US Open. All right, so now I have set them all to sim and they are back on. Okay, so we'll see. We'll see if that was wise for me to go ahead and cut them after, again, if the bots make over $1,000 for me, I'm happy. Yesterday they made $5,000 yesterday in the afternoon. That was crazy, but I was planning on spending the most majority of the day trading yesterday on a Friday. Like I said, I want to be early in, early out. All right, 1 minute.
Russia and Ukraine exchanged 270 prisoners of war each.
Divergence down NQ on the 9.
1 minute till the US Open.
1 minute now until we get the market on open imbalance and the US cash equity open for the day.
Double delta NQ on the 4.
All right, we've got full auto on. Remember, we've got the platinum version here, so it's going to automatically filter for me.
Fib.NQ
30 seconds till the open. Now, normally I want to get a short on that right there. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and take this as my first manual trade here. Small shot here. That is a headshot. We've got a super late Nate.
10 seconds.
We're right in front of the open, so it could be a little dicey.
Double delta NQ on the 38.
Target.
Okay, we got both of them. We got the super late Nate there.
71 million.
I'll take it. Okay, market's going wild. Hands off.
Full buy side, 2.3 million.
Double delta NQ on the 30 short on the NQ4. Enigma short on the Y4.
Target
NQ on the 9.
Okay, we got another automatic money machine going on there. Oh. Are we pausing?
Upper bands touch NQ on the 30 short on the ES2. Upper bands touch NQ on the 38.
Market's going crazy right there.
Fib.NQ on the 4. NQ on the 9. Upper bands touch NQ on the 4. Upper bands touch NQ on the 18 on the 4. Double delta NQ on the 4. Divergence double delta NQ on the 89. Lower bands touch NQ on the 34.
Apple shares shed more
Lower
than
bands
$100
touch
billion
NQ on the
in market
30.
value at the open day,
200 on the
following Trump's
NQ on the 4.
announcements as he threatens tariffs on
the NQ
earlier today. So again, that's $100 billion in market cap shed from Apple this morning.
Fib.NQ on the 4.
Target
Fib.NQ on the 4.
Target filled.
Fib.NQ on the 4. Enigma long double delta NQ on the 4. Double delta NQ on the 4.
Okay, that's enough for you, full auto. That's way too many winners in a row. Holy shnikes. All right, full auto firing off like crazy here.
NQ on the 38.
I'm turning full auto off. It is going. This is a very wild open. They're already up 2K on that account.
Fib.NQ on the 4. Double delta NQ on the 100.
For a
57
combo,
delta
what's
NQ
today's
on the
date?
4.
23rd.
Double delta NQ on the 4. Double delta NQ on the 6. Enigma long on the NQ bands touch NQ on the 38.
30.
Upper bands touch
See, I
NQ on
thought
the
I was
38.
thought that was gonna be 4K. No, I am literally $30 away. 39.70 for the morning. 39.70.
Double delta NQ on the 6. Upper bands touch NQ on the 38. Upper bands double touch NQ on the 34. Upper bands touch NQ on the 38. Fib dot NQ on the 9. Upper bands touch NQ on the 38. Double delta NQ on the 4. Two finger NQ on the 38. NQ 110. Fib dot bands touch NQ on the 38.
So there's a super duper AO right there.
Double delta NQ on the 6. DCDM NQ on the 6. Fib dot NQ on the 4. Two finger and double delta NQ on the
That is an Enigma cadence of 1.
Fib dot NQ on the 4.
Technically, that broke the back of it. Another super AO up top. I want to short that. I'm probably going to take that as my first manual trade after this area here. Oh, she's getting wild on me.
Double delta NQ on the 4.
Target filled. Target filled.
Oh, cut it out. Oh, don't lock on me.
So we're shortly expecting comments from Feds Musalem and Feds Schmid as they speak in a
Don't
fast
lock on me.
Again, no text is expected.
Market's going too
There will be
fast.
a Q&A.
We've had no locking issues this week. All of a sudden, Friday, it's getting absolutely nuts. Oh, don't pull that on me. All right, I might have to get the broker on speed dial. 1 second.
Algo boxers, light it up. Smash the like button. Clickety clap, tappity tap. Smash that like, don't hold it back. Bippity bop, flippity flap. Hit the like button, make it snap. Tickety tock, hit that spot. Like it up, don't let it rot. Tappity tap, just one shot. Hit the like button, make it hot. Let's go. Like button. Clickety clap, tappity tap, smash that like, don't hold it back. Bippity bop, flippity flap, hit the like button, make it snap. Tickety talk, hit that spot, like it up, don't let it rot. Tappity tap, just one shot, hit the like button, make it hot. Let's go. Smash the like button.
Fib.NQ on the 4. Upper bands NQ on the 38. Divergence down NQ on the 70 on the 38. Upper bands touch NQ on the 38. Upper bands NQ on the 38. Fib.NQ on the 4. NQ on the 9. Touch NQ on the 89. Enigma long on the Y. Double delta NQ on the 6. Speed of NQ 71. Double delta NQ on the 4. Lower bands touch NQ on the 38.
Oh, all right. That was unfortunate. So I'm down 700 now. How do I get back to screen? One moment. Okay. So I lose about 2K on that play. Dadgummit. All right. Lockout.
Upper bands touch NQ on the 89.
Okay. Well, that was upsetting. And there's a perfect super AO there at the top. What's our time? 9:38. All right. Market got a little bit too wild there for me. We're like 2,700 on that. So market went absolutely nuts. And yeah, the 285K couldn't quite keep up. That is unfortunate. I am noticing like my 285K locks in at about 5.38. Like it doesn't really go beyond that. Oh, they're hanging again here. Don't even have any trades open and it's locking. Well, the 14,900 might be coming back online this weekend. Have had no problems, then all of a sudden.
Sent out the opening gate here. S&P 500 just slightly pairing some of these pre-market losses, but it is still down close to 1%.
Well, can't have that. NinjaTrader not responding. Okay. I'm gonna kill it and we'll try it again. Let me log back in here. Did anybody else lock up, or was that just me? I'm going to reconnect. I know market went nuts there. But I have not rebooted this machine all week. I don't know if that was... I don't know if that's a great idea. Might need the Friday reboot. Okay, good. Everybody's good?
Lower bands touch NQ on the 3056. Divergence up lower bands touch double delta NQ on the 6. Double delta NQ on the 9 touch on the 9 on the 38. Double delta EM on the 4. Lower bands touch NQ on the 38. Enigma long on the NQ4. Double delta NQ on the double delta NQ on the 6. Fib.NQ on the 89. Fib.NQ on the 4. Divergence up NQ on the 9.
Yeah, I should have taken the time, gone ahead and rebooted this morning. Okay, so let's see, 9:45, and let me see, 500 there.
Fib.NQ on the 9. Fib.NQ on the 4.
Just checking to make sure we didn't have any
NQ on the 9.
defense legs. No. Okay.
Speed of NQ7.
No defense legs to concern myself with here.
Double delta NQ on the 6.
So shuffle it up and get ready to play. I've got my work cut out for me here this morning.
Lower bands touch NQ on the 38.
We've got 10 a.m. news.
Divergence up NQ on the 9.
Red star there at 10, coming up in about 15 minutes.
Lower bands touch NQ on the 38. Double short NQ on the 4.
Okay, catching my bearings here again. Where are we? We just touched red on the nerd, so we got 3 out of 4 of the nerds to the sell side.
J-hook short NQ on the 9.
Okay, so I'm gonna get
NQ4.
Gonna get long right here, and I'll talk about it here in a second because it's too fast. And there I am. I'm already up. I just hit $2,000 on that play. All right, so that's super late Nate to the left. We had this yesterday as well. We got a split cross of 2 different colors, approximately the same size. We had a 5.9 and a 6 right here and right here. Then this by itself, I'll reverse this. I'll push up if I got just 2 of the same color in the spot. So I went ahead and grabbed that one. Am I locking again right here? Are you kidding me? All right, my PC is not cooperating with me today. It needed a reboot this morning. It's been on all week. And then all of a sudden, today she doesn't want to play. Oh, come on.
Fib.NQ on the 4.
And there she goes. She
Divergence of
catches back up.
NQ.
Very weird.
Double delta NQ on the 4. NQ on the 4. And double delta NQ on the 4. NQ on the long on the NQ4. Lower bands touch NQ on the 89.
Okay, market's going nuts here. Nice Enigma calling the bottom there.
Fib.NQ on the 4.
Again, over this spot here, I'll probably still look
Lower
for
bands touch NQ
some
on
more
the
opportunities to get long here. Need an entry. Would have been nice to have grabbed that one.
89. Speed of NQ
Super AO to the
72.
left. The next Enigma. Nice little pop up there.
DCDM NQ on the 4.
So that's a 100 tick up move. This one from a 4. A 68.
2 finger NQ on the 38.
So today is the 23rd.
Double delta NQ on the 4.
So currently up
Upper
33.07.
bands touch NQ on the 38. Upper bands touch NQ on the 38.
So here's how that went this morning. No fun.
Enigma short on the NQ4. Fib.NQ on the
10
9.
minutes time now.
No, I haven't done any boosting, no overclocking,
Fib.NQ on the
Full card
38.
0 spot 9.
but I think it's time to work on that this weekend. Or I don't want to throw in the towel yet and be like, I'm going back to my 14,900. I'm not necessarily ready to go on that. It's been fine all week.
Finger NQ on the 38.
One day does not make a trend. You know what I mean?
Commodity news here, according to the Guyana government. They say oil output in Guyana fell
Fib.NQ on
to
the
some
4.
611,000 barrels per day in April.
Yeah, I need to look at that 285K and how to up it.
On the 4.
YouTube video on how to optimize Windows for gaming.
Upper bands
No, I hadn't seen that one.
NQ on the 4. Double delta NQ on the 6. Upper bands down NQ on the delta NQ on the 69. Fib.NQ on the 4.
I do got a lot of tweaks myself. We have a whole performance video guide. I'd be curious though. I'm always open to see if there's something we don't have.
Touch NQ on the 30.
But I'm pretty sure my performance videos have covered the gamut on it. But I don't cover
Upper
overclocking.
bands touch NQ on the 38.
It's a little bit too much responsibility. You know what I'm
Upper
saying?
bands touch NQ on the 38.
9:51. 9 minutes till the news. Coming into multi-king and large timings here.
Upper bands touch NQ on the 38. Upper bands touch NQ on the 38. Double delta NQ on the 6. Speed of NQ 67.
Shark back broken.
According to CNBC TV 18,
In double delta
the
the
US will
YM3.
a principal trade deal in 7 to 10 days.
I was hoping we'd get a late Nate in there with him. Yeah, Paul, post it in the public chat there for me. I really appreciate it. I'll definitely take a look.
DCDMNQ on the 4.
Feds Muslim says business executives are trying to figure out how to manage uncertainty about supply chains, inventory, and inflation.
Double Delta NQ on the 4. Double Delta NQ on the 4. Divergence down NQ on the 9. NQ long on the NQ4.
Okay, defense leg is into the sell side. Did you see the defense leg? Okay, we've got a rare red short side defense leg. If you see it, type a 1, 2 if we need to review.
Speed of NQ 148. Speed of NQ 148. Fib.NQ on the 4.
All right, defense leg right there.
Dutch PM Schoof says the EU is likely to see this latest EU tariff announcement as part of the negotiations. And Feds Muslim says expectations for inflation rising among firms and consumers.
Fib.NQ on the 4. NQ on the 9.
Okay, news coming out here in 5 minutes.
Double Delta NQ on the 4.
The defense leg is in. Let's see if we come into it. Again, I want to see AO's in there. Be my absolute favorite. Okay, we're inside. There's king timing.
Upper bands touch NQ on the 38.
They didn't even let me play.
So in 5 minutes time,
Give me some kind of RTOFA event in there. We got the Delta shift. I mean, was that all we're going to give me? You're not going to give anything else in there? Come on, go in there a little bit farther.
724 million with a range of 0.749 million.
Give me a little bit more. Come on, go in there. Get in there. Come on. Go in there. Get in there.
Fib.NQ on the
Come on. We're just gonna get the 1 pixel touch.
NQ on the 38. DCDM NQ on the 6.
Come on, come in there. There we go. Now let's get some RTOFA
Double
going.
Delta NQ on
There's
the
1. There's 2.
Upper bands touch
Late
NQ
Nate.
on the 38. Upper bands touch NQ on the 38.
Yeah, I need to get my fingers on the keys here.
Upper bands touch NQ on the 38.
Yeah, super AO in
Divergence down
there.
NQ on the 9. Upper bands touch NQ on the 38. Upper bands touch NQ on the 38. Upper bands touch NQ on the 38.
Peeling off half there.
DCDM NQ on the 6.
We are
Enigma short on the NQ4.
3 minutes. Oh man, getting terrible entries.
Fib.NQ on the 4. Two finger NQ on the 38.
All right, we are now 2 minutes before the news. Had to Had to kill it in there with the news.
On the 4.
2,400 on this account, 1,650 on the other one. We are 2 minutes from the news. All right, I'm gonna grab a coffee here. I didn't even get a coffee this morning. Probably another mistake. The market's like, Vinny, you didn't get no coffee this morning. What are you doing? All right. Fingers off the triggers. Post your favorite emoji in the chat. How about that? What's your favorite emoji? I'm going to find a weird one. How about this one? It feels like this morning. There we go. Here's my weird emoji. Post your weirdest emoji you can find there in the chat while I grab this coffee. And don't forget to smash that like button.
1 minute remaining.
Here we go. Here comes some crazy news. I hope the thing doesn't lock up while I'm gone. I need to reboot here this weekend, but hey, she's currently still going. I'll take it.
Fib.NQ on the 4.
Be careful. Fingers off the triggers. We're sitting right here in this defense zone. Now, breaking news can break things. So, hands off here for a minute. 2 minutes before, 3 minutes after. I'll be back in less than 3 minutes.
Fib.NQ on the 4. Enigma long on the NQ on the 4.
Ten seconds.
Fib.NQ on the 4.
743 million.
Fib.NQ on the 4 long on the NQ. Fib.NQ on the 4.
Million. The change at 10.9%. 10.9%.
Double delta NQ on the 6. Double delta NQ on the 4. NQ on the 38. J hook long NQ on the 4. Upper bands NQ on the 38. Emergence down NQ on the 9. Double delta NQ on the 38. Fib.NQ on the 9. Upper bands touch NQ on the 38. DCDM NQ on the 4. Upper bands touch NQ on the 38. Upper bands touch NQ on the 89.
MACV.
The US April median sale price was $407,200, which is down 2% year over year, which was at $415,300.
Fib.NQ on the 4. Fib.NQ on the 9. Upper bands touch NQ on the 89. Fib.NQ on the 4. Fib.NQ on the 9. Fib.NQ on the 38. Divergence up NQ on the 9.
The trading could be done by telepathy. The candles are rising, the screen's lighting up. What I would do if I had the algorithm, I'd double the delta 2 by night and by day.
Fib.NQ on the 4.
You know that I can read the charts too. I can see the signs. I can see the
2-finger NQ on the 38. Double delta NQ on the 6.
next move. It's all over the candle shining right through. 'Cause I can see the lines. I can see the lines.
Double delta NQ on the 4. Fib.NQ
Double
on the
delta
4. NQ on the 6.
Into the market's rhythm as it talks. We're in sync even if you're offline. Double delta rise and stay aligned. Who would've thought the trading could be done by telepathy? The candles are rising, the screen's lighting up. What I would do if I had the algorithm.
Upper bands touch NQ on the 38.
By night and by day.
Double delta NQ on the 6.
You know that I can read the charts too.
DCDM NQ on the 4. Fib.NQ on the 4. Upper bands touch NQ on the 38.
Next move. It's all over the candle shining right through. 'Cause I can
Enigma long on the YM3.
night and by day.
Upper bands touch NQ on the 38. Divergence
Upper
down
bands
and touch
touch
NQ on the
89.
89. Upper bands touch NQ on the 38. Double
Double
delta
delta
NQ
NQ
on the 38. Double
Upper
delta
bands touch
NQ on the 9. Double delta
38.
NQ on the 4.
Algo boxers, light it up. Smash the like button. Clickety clap, tappity tap, smash
Speed of NQ 96.
the bop, flippity flap, hit the like button, make it snap. Tickety tock, hit
Fib.NQ on the 4.
don't let it rot. Tappity tap, just one shot, hit the like button, make it hot.
Fib.NQ on the 4. Double delta EM on the 4. Upper bands touch NQ on the 89. Enigma short on the NQ on the 9. Fib.NQ on the 4. Fib.NQ on the 38. Upper bands double delta on the 89. Divergence down NQ on the 38. Double delta EM on the 4. Fib.NQ on the 4. Fib.NQ on the 4.
Tappity tap, smash that like, don't hold it back. Bippity bop, flippity flap, hit the like button, make it snap. Tickety talk, hit that spot, like it up, don't let it rot. Tappity tap, just one shot, hit the like button, make it hot. Let's go.
Fib.NQ on the 9. DCDM NQ on the 4. Fib.NQ on the 4. Double delta EM on the 4. Fib.NQ on the 9. Divergence down NQ on the 9. Fib.NQ on the 4. Fib.NQ on the 4.
Smash the like button.
Fib.NQ on the 4. Fib.NQ on the 9. Upper bands touch NQ on the
Upper
38.
bands touch NQ on the 89.
Fib.NQ on the 4. Fib.NQ on the 4. Fib.NQ on the 4. Double delta NQ on the 38.
Upper bands touch NQ on the 89.
DCDM upper NQ bands on the touch 4. NQ on the 38.
Smash the like button. Smash. 1, 2, we smash. 1, 2, hold up. Smash, smash. 1, 2, 3. The like button. 1, 2.
Fib.NQ on the 4.
Yo, hit it now. I saw him tap. Boom. I saw him tap and I run it up. I saw him tap and don't hold back. I saw him tap. I should up. Like button.
Fib.NQ on the 4. Fib.NQ on the 9. J-hook long NQ on the 38. Divergence up NQ on the 9. Enigma short on the YM3.
Upper bands touch NQ on the 89.
Lower bands touch NQ on the 38. Lower bands touch NQ on the 38. Lower bands touch NQ on the 38. Fib.NQ on the 4. Lower bands touch NQ on the 38. Fib.NQ on the 4. Double delta
Upper
NQ on
bands
the
touch
6.
NQ on the 89.
Enigma short on the NQ4. Upper bands touch
Upper bands
double
touch
delta
NQ on the
double delta
89.
NQ on the
Upper
9.
bands
Touch NQ on the 38. Upper bands touch NQ on the 38. Upper bands touch NQ on the 38. Upper bands touch NQ on the 89. Upper bands touch NQ on the 4. Double delta NQ on the 9. Upper bands touch NQ on the 89. Upper bands touch NQ on the 38. Upper bands touch NQ on the 38. Speed of NQ80. Upper bands touch NQ on the 89. Fib.NQ on the 4.
Smash the like button. Clickety clap, tappity tap, smash that like, don't hold it back. Bippity bop, flippity flap, hit the like button.
Double delta NQ on the 6.
All right, that took a little longer.
On the NQ4. Double delta NQ on the 4.
Okay, so they blew through the defense leg.
Enigma short on the NQ4.
So let's see if we had an opposing. Let's see if we found the match.
Fib.NQ on the 4. Fib.NQ on the 4.
$9.53. Okay, no, I don't see it. So still there. We just hit a 7 Super AO on the 38 optimized range on the NASDAQ. So if we come back up to touch that, I am pressing the sell button.
Touch NQ on the 89.
Double delta NQ
Okay,
on the 4.
I'll go right there on the Super AO.
Fib.NQ on the 4.
Now those are opposing colors. Normally that's a DCDM, so I'm going to measure out the distance. So we could go all the way to 2990s. But she's going to give me my 20 bag. I'll take it. Super AO. All right, hadn't even settled in my chair yet. We're getting a lot of sweet action right there. All right, everybody still awake? Let's get a coffee emoji in the chat. If you're still awake, drop a coffee for those of us who are not still. Let's see here. Getting a lot of stuff prepped up for the website changes over the weekend. It's Memorial Day weekend. Don't forget, it is the last day through Memorial Day weekend for that reboot camp offer.
Enigma long on the NQ38.
All right, I'm not getting long on that right there, but that is a moonshot. See how it plays. There was a switch there. Both hitting targets. Very interesting. So, targets filled on both of those.
Lower bands
Yeah,
touch
they sliced
NQ
through
on
that
the
one.
NQ on the 4.
Not terribly surprised. I do want to take an up
Lower
move on that.
bands touch NQ on
And
the
targets
38.
filled. All right, so this is one of my favorite things. If you get two of the same color after a nice smooth leg, I'm going to take it. On top of that, it was a Super AO in there, so grabbed a quick bag on that. Couldn't react too much because I was over here trying to teach and talk you, show you one more thing. But yeah, nice little up move out of that. That's 58 ticks to the upside.
Fib.NQ on the 4. Fib.NQ on the 4. Fib.NQ on the 4. Fib.NQ on the 4.
Okay, so on the optimized range, we got the Super AO up there on the 38, helping us out. All the way down into the golden ropes. Remember, every bar there is 38 ticks, basically 40 ticks per bar there almost.
Lower bands touch NQ on the 38.
Okay, here in audio box, currently strong sell side, red arrow, so I'm skipping on the long side.
NQ on the 4.
Here's the cross there.
Lower bands touch NQ on the 30, NQ on the 4.
I do want to take that. Oh man, I want to take that so bad. I'm gonna skip it.
Lower bands touch NQ on the
10 minutes
38.
time now at the bottom of the hour. We are expecting possible comments from Bank of England's pill.
All right, so I see a cave here.
Lower bands touch NQ on the 38. Double delta NQ on the 4. Double delta NQ on the 9 on the 38.
Feds Muslim says, I already see the footprint of AI in GDP.
Lower bands touch NQ on the 38. Fib.NQ on the 4.
Okay, there's a blue dot, sometimes signaling the bottoms.
NQ on the 4. Lower bands touch NQ on the 38. Fib.NQ on the 4.
So close to that cave.
NQ on the 9.
So is this going to be one of those where it's too obvious? The cave is too obvious so it doesn't get there, or there we go, and we get a double dot touch there. Oh, I'm too chicken. Trying to hold on to it.
Fib.NQ on the 9.
We know we've got that protected cell zone right down below it.
Fib.NQ on the 9 on the 38. Fib.NQ on the 4. Fib.NQ on the 9.
Okay, so the cave was still valid. I was too chicken. I should have done something about it. It's Friday. I'm literally just trying to go. Look, I don't want to have to fight the day. Motivators videos are so awesome. They're hilarious. I love it.
Fib.NQ on the 4. Fib.NQ.
Man, look how they launched it out of this cave. So, how far did they go? 150 ticks to the upside off of that cave.
Fib.NQ on the 9.
They didn't spend much time filling it, did they?
Enigma long on the NQ4.
All right. These guys are going to get wiped.
Upper bands touch NQ on the 38.
Yep. All right. So that's going to put me to 3,900 on the day. Plus my bots up 1,650.
Upper bands touch NQ on the 38.
See if we touch the target by a tick. I'll take the sell on that as well.
Divergence down NQ on the 38.
Feds Musalem says GDP is close to potential. The labour market around full employment and inflation still above target.
Upper bands touch NQ on the 38.
No, exactly the things I didn't want it to have happen today. So we came into that target and thought we might come through off of it. We've come up really fast. Didn't think it's going to last here, but okay. Enigma target did not turn out to be a very good entry after all. Zeus. Now I need to down. Broke straight through divergence on that as well. Wild. What in the
Fib.NQ.
what in the tarnation? Ah! Okay. Finally. Oh boy. All right. Red dot into the
Fib.NQ on the 4.
red dot high time frame. Open to help me out of that.
Feds
Upper
Musalem
bands
says
touch
today's
NQ
world
on
is
the
very
38.
different than before the pandemic. There's a 1 in 5 chance at most that the Fed policy would approach zero again. And Fed Schmidt says nothing good happens when rates hit the zero lower bound.
Fib.NQ on the 9.
Cutting
Bands
rates
touch
to zero
NQ on
again
the
would probably
38.
mean there is a crisis.
Fib.NQ on the 4.
Okay, first dot crack. Deuce.
Upper bands touch NQ on the 38.
All right, I got a half. Take a small loss there.
NQ on the 6.
And she gave it all back. I'll take it. All right. Phew.
NQ on the 4.
So high time frame, red dot ended up saving my butt on that one. NQ also came all the way back and touched that 7 spot
Hopefully the Fed
right there to the right.
Range-bound normalized rate curve.
Two things to do. I was trying to play more cautious there on the Friday. So where did that begin? It was the idea that I could just short off of that one right there, just trying to push it over 4K, and didn't quite get it. AO Bollinger Band plus the masher, yeah, and the masher was hot up there too. That was nice.
Again, just says rates unlikely to return to pre-COVID levels.
So you're saying there's a chance?
And Schmidt adds that the Fed needs to think hard in the future years about how and when to use the balance sheet.
Fib.NQ on the 4.
Crack dot.
Divergence up NQ on the 9.
And crack Scythe.
Double delta NQ on the 6.
And we're still buy. Interesting. Still buy side.
Divergence up NQ on the 9.
Just went strong sell across all instruments.
Fred Schmid says when it comes to deciding monetary policy, the Fed needs to be careful how much weight to put on soft data.
All right, that background color is changing, telling us we are 2 minutes, within 2 minutes of 10:30, coming back from coffee time. Oh, and I should reboot this computer. Yeah, you can feel it. Redundancy is a bonus.
US envoy Witkov has left Iran talks due to a flight schedule, but the Iran-US talks
Chris
continue.
AR up 11,000 on the day. Nice. While I wait for my machine to come out of its slumber here, I'm going to take a look here. Alex RR up 9,300 today. Nice. Whiskers throwing down 8,336. Well done. Bob, I see your screenshot, but I can't tell what the called this play. I must have missed it. I can't tell from the screenshot what play it is. All right, we're gonna have to send Bob the how to take a screenshot video. Kazi up in green, Eddie up 7,500. Don't make me restart this. Don't make me kill it. Bob's up 4,650 on the day. Nice. While I'm having to restart my NinjaTrader because I haven't restarted my computer in a week. Tell me what your P&L is. Type it there in the chat.
On X says we maintain our same position on Trump tariffs, namely we seek to de-escalate, but we are ready to respond.
All right, I'm gonna have to kill it. Ooh. Not risk. right, let me log back in here. Both Brian's green P&L, very nice. Jesse James, 550 times 20 accounts. I can't even do that kind of math. Alexa, what's 550 times 20? $11,000 for Jesse James. Smashing, sir. Use a laptop to trade while traveling with AlgoBox. Absolutely. Yeah, just don't buy a cheap laptop. As long as it's about, you know, in the, it's got to be 4 gigahertz.
Rating, so
if it's in the 3s, I mean, you can. The market, it'll be fine when the market's
for quality
normal, but you miss out on all the fun. You need to be 4.5 gigahertz or greater to run all the juice. I know it's weird to like, well, your system's crashing, Vinny. What's your, yeah, this is just a reboot. This has been on all week. I just let it go into hibernate mode, which anybody who's spent time in Windows who lets their machine go to hibernate, you know the deal.
Double delta NQ on the 4.
You might get away with it a few times, but all week, it's going to need that reboot. You know what I'm saying? All right, here we go. Back with it. I need my 4K. I need that 4K, and I'm going to grab it right now. Up top here, we've got a divergence high time frame, a ready DD going on right there, and there's my 37 ticks down into the shark. Thank you very much. It's a little bit too easy with the algo box. 6,079 in just this account, plus what did we have? 1,600, 1,650 on the other. Before I was so rudely interrupted by necessity to restart NinjaTrader. 8,079 on the day. So there's the stats, and I like to go over to the analysis section. So long side did 5,500, short side 2,550, not too shabby. Analysis, there was that lockup. And that was a 2,700. So if you take that 2,700 and add it to what we got here, I'm over 10K in tick pickups today. I have picked up $10,000 of ticks.
Divergence up NQ on the 9.
Not bad for a Friday. 10:37 a.m. Literally 1 hour 7 minutes past the U.S. Open. Motivator. Bro, you put out the funniest and most amazingly awesome videos. Have you guys seen Motivator? Okay, so click on his name and give him a follow. Let me show you why you might want to do that. Oh,
NQ on the 38th.
funny trading related videos. I'm scrolling up. Somebody posted one in the chat here earlier this morning. Jump to present. It wasn't that far back here. Plutonium up 37,000 on the day. The man smashes.
Fib.NQ on the 9. Fib.NQ on the 38th.
It's always interesting to me, the people who think that they get better by not trading. They're like, you know how I got good at trading? I took some time off. I just put my computer in my closet. I turned it off. I didn't look at charts. I went out and I jet skied and did some other stuff, and now I'm better at trading. You, my friend, are retarded. I don't know how to solve this for you to tell you that you're retarded, but I'm just going to tell you, you're retarded. I literally don't know how to help you. If you're literally one of these people who thinks that the less trading you do, the better you get at it, you're retarded. I get better at this video game by not playing it. ICT might be for you.
Enigma short on the NQ4.
Tonight the music seems so loud. I wish that we could lose this crowd. Maybe it's better this way. We hiding from the way the things we want to say. We could have been so good together. We could have lived these days forever.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on, bro.
No way, bro. That was like, we're getting sniped, right? There's no way.
Tasted I've been given, so I'm never gonna dance again the way I danced with you.
Upper bands touch NQ on the 38th.
What? He had the craziest angle.
Tonight the music seems so loud.
Oh, man.
Maybe it's better this way. We hurt each other with the things we want to say. We could have been so good.
Every time. Cracks me up every time. Follow Motivator on YouTube for more hilarious stuff like that. And especially if you're one of those people that thinks that you get better when you don't trade, I don't know how to help you. And this whole concept that you can't get better by not having skin in the game is also nonsense. Practice. Practice in sim. You don't have to, like, oh, it stresses me out. Oh, my mental capacity to... Shut up. You get better at that. You supersede that by actually doing that. Whoa, amazing concept. This is not genius level thoughts here. This is like pretty obvious, I think. But if you're one of those that thinks that you get better by sticking your computer in the closet,
bands touch NQ on the 38th.
You are only fooling yourself. Trade in sim, participate in live streams, learn something, maybe complete the boot camp.
On the YM4.
Actually take notes this time. Learn to record your trades, record yourself so you can see what you're doing wrong. Don't start your recordings after you're already down $800. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, somebody I know. Like, yeah, I recorded it. Like, you started recording after you were down. Like, how do I see how you got into the down area? Anyway, ridiculous. I'm sure they're not out here listening to the live stream anyway. They're,
Lower bands touch NQ on the 38th.
They're probably toking out with, who was that bald guy that used to hang out with us? And then he got so mad because I told him to stop smoking reefer, and he literally was saying like, you know, I like to toke on the reefer while I'm trading, and he's like, but because the whole point was he's asking, well, how do I improve my trading? And I'm like, okay, well, let's talk about your stuff. And one day he's over there like, yeah, I like to toke out while I'm like, okay, how about we stop smoking weed while we're trading?
Lower bands touch NQ on the 38th.
Are you saying I'm a pothead? Well, actually, apparently yes. Oh, well, I'll show you. Okay. Okay, pothead. Oh. Why are you mad, bro? I don't know. I'm just trying to help you out, man. You got a booger on your face. I'm the guy. I'll just tell you, hey, you got a booger on your face. That makes you mad? Ah. I might have a song for you.
NQ on the 4. NQ on the 9.
Trolls keep yapping, voices clashing, hate in the feed, but it's all just passing, spilling their shade, trying to dim my spark, but I'm rising above, lighting up the dark. No, I won't break, no stopping my heart. Keep talking, I'm stacking without you. Keep trolling, I'm winning without you. Your noise can't stop me, I'm cashing right through. No, 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 no. Clickety clack, trolls bark with no brains, ranting online, but they stuck in the chains. Big noise, loud mouth, still losing the game. All rage, no trade, just spitting the same. Trying to drag me down, but I'm breaking the frame. The hate's a loop, just feel for my flame. More than why not cry and watch me claim. I'll go box shines, trolls fade in shame. Hope you see me soar while you're still to blame. Keep talking, I'm stacking without you. Keep trolling, I'm winning without you. Your noise can't stop me, I'm cashing right through.
Fib.NQ on the 38th.
No, no, no. Starved by the venom, their bitter complaints. Trapped in the fury, no growth, just restraints. Loud mouth, no proof, their words got no weight. They sink, I crank what they stew in their hate. These trolls might scream, but they're sealing their fate. Dark as they spread, but I'm setting it straight. I'll go by skulls with their vibes, just deflate. Keep talking, I'm stacking without you. Keep trolling, I'm winning without you. Your noise can't stop me, I'm cashing right through. No, 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 no. Clickety clack, trolls bark with no brains. Ranting online, but they stuck in their chains. Big noise, loud mouth, still losing the game. All rage, no trade, just spitting the same. Trying to drag me down, but I'm breaking the frame. Their hate's a loop, just fuel for my main. Their hate's a loop, just fuel for loop, just fuel for loop for main.
Double delta beam on the 6.
Just fuel for my flame. Well,
Fib.NQ on the 4. Enigma long on the NQ4.
Your noise can't stop me, I'm cashing right through. No, 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 no. Trolls yap, I stack. Trolls yap, I stack. Trolls yap, I stack. Baba box, I'm back.
Trolling and no noise, random lows. Trolling and no noise. Trolling and no noise, random lows. Trolling and no noise. Trolls yap, I stack. Trolls yap, I stack. Trolls yap, I stack.
Fib.NQ on the 4.
Ogre box, I'm back. Keep talking, I'm stacking with trolls, yap, I stack. Trolls, yap, I stack. I'm box, I'm back. Trolling in the noise, you will lose. Trolling in the noise,
DCDMLNQ on the 6.
No, no, no.
Upper bands touch NQ on the 30.
Oh, what is this? Hold on.
Double delta beam on the 4.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
NQ on the 30.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Is that a... That is a serious cluster going on there with a Super AO inside. When was the last time we saw one of those? I need to screenshot that. What in the... What a battle. How about that?
Where they at? Where they go? Where they go? Troll patrol, let me know. They talk big in the chat, but they vanish just like that. Throw shade, but never show. Hide behind that
pixel glow.
Trolls yap, I cash in while they whine. I win. Charts don't lie, I rise. You still mad? That's fine. Where are the trolls? Where are the trolls? Where are
Oh, we're coming back to the scene of the crime.
big noise, no brains, still stuck, no gains. Typing fast, trading last while algo box flying past. Trolls in the back, nah. Trolls in the front.
How far did that go? Let's see.
Nah, what they doing gone.
130 ticks. Noted.
Green on the day, trolls are gone. Charts move fast.
You took it to 40K, plutonium. Nice.
Let 'em hate.
Put you over 40K on the day, or you actually got 40K out of that play? Holy shnikes.
Trolls. Trolls. We just trade.
Over 40 for the day. Nice job, sir. 40K on the day. Plutonium. Yeah, protecting that P&L. Oh yeah, man. Don't give it back on a Friday. Go into the weekend high-fiving it, bro. Don't give the market a dime back. Not a dime.
Where are the trolls? Where are the trolls? Where are the trolls? Poof, gone. Green on the day, trolls are gone.
All right, so they returned to the scene of the crime, and they were like, yeah, we are shorting this. You can suck it.
We just trade.
Okay, I need a screenshot image of this on my wall. I don't have a play for that. I mean, I have a play for this. It's a cluster.
Lower bands touch
the Super AO, yes, but a return to it? I don't know.
NQ on the 30.
Okay, well, now I know. We return to it, make it look like we're heading, and then we drop
Double
out
delta
even
NQ
farther.
on the
That one
6.
went probably 200 ticks. No, 169. Of course we know that one. That one. Power Moonshot, 67 ticks. I'm sorry, Power Moonshot.
Enigma long on the NQ4.
Too many workouts, not enough sleepies.
Enigma short on the NQ4.
You can hear the screams of the people trapped in that cluster. I can hear them from here. They sound a little bit like my
Enigma
trolls.
short on the NQ4.
Screaming in agony on my giant green P&L days. I gotta deliver his Uber. I gotta get his hot dog there, hot and on time or no tip.
38.
I'm gonna keep trading my ICT.
NQ on the 4.
All right, 8 minutes till giveaway time. Let's see. What are they giving away today? Let's see. I'll post you guys a link in the chat. Go win a free account from one of these trader funding programs. All right. Captain giveaway. High-fiving with all the trader funding programs. Because, you know, when you can't trade, do as many giveaways as you possibly can. Here we go. I'll post a link there in the chat.
On the 38. Fib.NQ on the 4.
All right, go see Captain Giveaway and make sure you guys win one of those trader funding accounts
NQ on the 89.
for free. Let's see, what's he giving away today? MFFU.
Don't let boring
What
content.
else? Let's see. MFFU and ETF giveaway. 2 funded, 2 static, 3 end of days. Gonna be huge. Yeah. Captain giveaway. Look it up.
Fib.NQ on the 9.
Mac Phillips. Happy Friday, sir.
Fib.NQ on the 30.
That special sauce. I can hear the sizzle from the kitchen. Did you get your ICT pizza yesterday, Bob? Attaboy. Big tip and told him to switch. That was very nice of you. You know, one day they grow out, they decide that mommy's basement is a little bit too dusty, and they're like, you know what? I think I might want to get out of here and might actually want a girlfriend one day. I better do something with myself. I gotta stop pretending like ICT works. I'm gonna tell my mom I'm leaving.
Divergence up NQ on the 38th.
Pocket pooper. What's that? I don't know what you're talking about. Some Chinese on a Friday sounds pretty good. I'm more of a sushi Friday guy. But does Chinese do sushi? I think it's like Japanese kind of thing, right? Does Chinese do sushi? No. I don't think so.
Divergence up NQ on the 9.
So yeah, I've been at a Chinese buffet and they had some sushi on the menu, so same. Got a roll on the roll patrol. I'm a big Philadelphia roll guy, one of my favorites. If you're not into sushi, I would try a fried one. Tell them to give you a Philadelphia roll fried and it will change your mind. And it's, I don't know, people tell me it's not real. That's not real sushi, Vinny. If you had them deep fry it and batter it like it's in Texas or something, like at the Texas State Fair, that's not real sushi. And I'm like, that's kind of the point. Yes. Philadelphia roll, deep fried. Trust me. This is that just trust me bro moment, all right? You wanna try that. I'll help you out. Let me wet your taste buds. You see this right here? This is a heavenly mouthful right here.
Fib.NQ on the 4.
You see that right there? That is perfection. Deep fried amazingness. Fry battered on the outside like it came straight from the Texas State Fair. You want to drizzle a little spicy Japanese mustard on top? Yes, please. Now, if they're real fancy, you're going to pay extra if they're going to put the roe on it, okay? Now it's like, oh, what's roe? Oh, well, that's fish droppings. Just kidding. fish eggs, but all right. So look, you eat chicken eggs every day. You want to try some fish eggs? They're salty. Okay. Just straight up, just telling you. Salty. Look at that deep fried batter around the outside. Crispy on the outside, soft and massive amounts of flavor on the inside. Dip that sucker in some spicy soy sauce. And you will start trying to figure out how you can have it every day. And then you'll realize if you're an ICT student, then you would be broke because it's kind of pricey. But it's so yummy and spicy. If this whole trading gig doesn't work out, I'm going to do sushi commercials.
Lower bands touch NQ on the 38. Double delta NQ on the 9. Lower bands touch NQ on the 38.
Which is really good. I like anchovies. I can't get into the anchovies thing when they're like staring at me and I can see their little eyeballs. I'm not into it. Deep fry Mars bars in Scotland. Ooh.
Fib.NQ on the 4. Lower bands double NQ. Lower bands touch NQ on the 8.
Someone flipped the switch or did I crash? Market just got hot all of a sudden. See, Casey, I could even see Casey's like anti-sushi, but I'm telling you right now, I could get Casey to like sushi if you're going to consider deep fried sushi. You know what I'm saying? The first thing, if somebody says they've never done sushi and they don't like it or whatever, first thing I do is, oh yeah, hold my beer, and then I order them a deep fried Philadelphia roll, and then I watch their face as they take that first bite when they're like, holy crap. And I'm like, I know. Okay, I should be shorting this. That is late Nate. That's a super late Nate. One of my new, favorite new one right here. Unfortunately, that Enigma is powering it up back behind it.
Upper bands touch NQ on the 30 on the 4.
What's the time? 11:01. Ah, we're top of hour here. Okay, so we might do some weirdness here. Top of hour. The Super Nate. Have I ever ordered a whole fish? I haven't, but I've seen people. My dad has done that a couple times, and I'm just like, dude, I can't. He was sitting across from me at the table, and I'm like, I might need to move seats. I don't want to look at. I'm not gonna watch you dig into that fish with the head sitting right there, and like it just a little too much for me. All right, like you don't need. I don't need to see the whole animal laying there on a plate. I'll be good. Thanks.
Two fingers NQ on the 38.
Like the key is you gotta peel back the skin. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. No thanks.
Fib.NQ on the 4. Upper bands.
If it looks like I can throw it back in the water and it'll start swimming, nah. I'm good.
Fib.NQ on the 4.
All right, it's giveaway time. Make sure you guys are spamming that chat over there. I'll post the link one more time. The first ETF giveaway is going down. There it is.
Upper bands touch NQ on the 38. Lower bands touch NQ on the 89. Touch NQ on the 38. Double delta NQ on the 4. Fib.NQ on the 9.
Let's see. Paging JJ Kelly.
On the 38.
JJ Kelly, are you out here on the live stream with us?
Fib.NQ on the 4.
Looking forward to our chat later today.
According to an Iranian source, the fifth round of nuclear talks have now concluded in Rome.
Divergence down NQ on the 9. Upper bands touch NQ on the 38. Upper bands touch NQ on the 38. Enigma short on the YM4. Upper bands touch NQ on the 38. Double delta NQ on the 4.
EliteTraderFunding.com is down, or is this my PC? All right, am I having other PC problems? Is anybody else? Can anybody else get to EliteTraderFunding.com? Elite Trader Funding. How about I click this link? Evals that suit you. What is going on? Is their site down, or is this still more my machine having issues?
Divergence.
Anybody else get to it?
On the 9.
Working for you? Okay. It's I mean it's good and it's also bad. Good news is, okay, it's obvious that my machine is having issues, so that's good news.
Fib.NQ on the 4.
Because that means I just probably need a reboot.
Fib.NQ on the 4.
Bad news is I have no idea why that would
Double
be.
delta
Let me try
NQ
some
on the
other sites. About Apex.
Fib.NQ on the 30.
Okay, Apex is working for me. Interesting.
Divergence up NQ on the 9. Lower bands touch NQ on the 38. Fib.NQ on
Oh man, I lost my drawing from this morning from the crash, so I lost my defense leg. Let's scroll back. I'm gonna grab my defense leg.
J
again.
short NQ on the 4.
Is that it right there? Nope.
Lower bands touch NQ on the 89.
There it is. Okay, that red defense leg over 1,000. There it was, right? And so that came at right there.
The Emini foreign minister says the fifth round of Iran-US talks concluded in Rome with some, but not conclusive, progress.
Okay, I thought so. I thought we were getting close. We're in it now. We're in it. And time to short inside.
Double delta NQ on the 4.
All right, might be the first place to be able to start to Short inside that zone.
Lower bands touch NQ on the 30.
Technically, that is a Super A to the upside. I'm expecting that it breaks. Could be wishful thinking there. Zeus.
The Omani foreign minister says we hope to clarify remaining issues in the coming days to allow us to proceed towards a common goal
500.
of reaching sustainable and honourable agreement.
Lower bands touch NQ on the 38.
All right, take full position on 6-8 split.
Enigma long on the RTY3. Lower bands touch NQ on the 89.
Oh, boo.
Double delta NQ on the 4. Fib.NQ on the 4.
Deuce. Deuce.
Double delta NQ on the 9.
Deuce. Kill me. Deuce.
Fib.NQ on the 4. Fib.NQ on the 9.
Just one spot in there.
NQ on the 4.
Now I gotta deal with a pain in the arse. What time is it? 11:11. Make a wish time. Come on now.
Double delta NQ on the 6. Fib.NQ on the 4.
Break that dot. Dadgummit. Break it.
Enigma short on the NQ bands touch NQ on the 38.
Push it through.
Double delta NQ on the 4. Enigma long on the NQ4.
Deuce. $10K on the day. Let's get hype in the chat. Oh.
Double delta NQ on the 4. Lower bands touch NQ on the 38.
You got this, baby. I know it's been crazy. You don't see me, it's exhausting. City to city, cause I'm shiny, boys is popping. You keep making plans, babe, I'm sorry, I keep flopping. Call me late at night, cause I love it when you talk.
Lower bands touch NQ on the 38.
You're not here, it's just not home. I can't let go without you near me.
Double delta NQ on the 4.
I'm holding on your trades. Got me 10 feet off the ground. Now I'm seeing how you play.
Alrighty then, into
on the 4.
the defense leg.
NQ on the 9.
That's very nice. But really would have been nicer if I just played that right there. Just wait for that. Just don't FOMO. Don't FOMO like me. Just wait. Just wait for that. Don't FOMO it right here. Just wait. It's going to be a beautiful play. Fake him to the long side. Bring him back down inside. Wait for it to come on into you. Then again, I probably wouldn't have sized up enough to get the 10K on that play. So, you know what? I'll take it. So I'll take it. Over 12,000 on the day. This is after commissions. Pre-commissions up over 11.8.
Double delta NQ on the 6. Lower bands touch NQ on the 38. Double delta NQ on the 6. Lower bands touch NQ on the 38. Lower bands touch NQ on the 38.
Let's go. Happy Friday.
I'm holding on your trades, got me 10 feet off the ground. Alka Box makes trading like a game. Join us now and see what can be found. Alka Box, you never miss the game.
All right. So let's look at the stats, shall we? So let's switch over to summary. All right, max drawdown 4,900. 118 clicks. And of course, that divides it up. NinjaTrader's weird like that. It's really, it depends on how they split out your orders, blah, blah, blah. So don't really go off the order count thing. I've Talked about that before. I probably should have gone over that in the boot camp. Don't be
Fib.NQ on the 4.
don't be confused by the performance report details down here when it's like, oh, number of trades. Yeah, it's weird how they count trades. So it splits them, it click, like for sure click count, but the way that they split them out, and then depends on how you exit the play as well. So if you exit out partials like I do, then it adds more trade counts than what you got. It's really weird. So like if you enter into a position 3 clicks, that's 3. If you exit partials on the way with like 2s exiting, then it will count every single one of those as trades. So just don't deal with the order count. Anyway, the things that matter. Profit factor 2.28, which means winners were 2.28 times the size of losers.
Delta NQ on the 4.
I made money on both sides of the house. Still, I'm a better bear, apparently. Still made more on short side than long side.
Upper bands touch NQ on the 38.
Profit factor percent profitable 80%. 80% profitable and 2.28 and minimal drawdown. I'm here for it.
Upper bands touch NQ on the 38.
In 10 minutes time now, at the bottom of the hour,
long
US
on the
Treasury
NQ4.
Secretary Bessent due to be
Double
appearing
delta
on
EAM on the
Bloomberg
6.
TV.
First day watching, impressive group of traders here. Thanks, G Matt, appreciate it. And
Upper bands
the magic
touch
is in the
NQ on
tools.
38.
The tools plus the rules. It's like Algobox is a cheat for the markets. I think it makes. Yeah, look, everybody's playing the video game. So there's a lot of places out there being like, oh, we turn the markets into a video game. Dude, shut up. Everybody's playing a video game. Trading right now. Nobody's sitting on the floor doing hand signs and hand gestures and screaming at each other, doing like blah, 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 5, 5, 5, 5, 4. Oh, dude, elbow. 10 times elbow. No, none of that. Nobody's doing that anymore. Everybody's sitting down at their desk right here like this. Sitting around here in their underwear, right? And pressing buttons. It's a video game. Everybody's playing a video game. Some of us have a cheat. All right, video games. There are
touch NQ on the
in this industry.
Down NQ on the 9.
It blesses people who cheat. It's really weird. And I'm trying to put it in the hands of the normal, everyday, average Joe retail trader.
Upper bands touch NQ on the 38.
It's Memorial Day weekend coming up. Special shout outs to all the families who
on the 4.
have died for our freedoms.
Upper bands touch NQ on the 38.
We've got that awesome reboot offer there through Monday. And it will not be that price again. I will literally tell you that right now. It is never going to be that price. It's so low, like I'm not going to say it in the live stream because somebody's going to see this live stream later and be like, how much was it? No. Just saying, it was a one-time thing. Before we did the reboot, The reboot is there now. You can literally learn this whole thing in 8 sessions. I did 8-day boot camp. I was like, oh, 20-day boot camp. I don't know. Somebody out there is like, oh, I'll do a 20-day boot camp. Dude, they're just wasting your time. They're just like trying to get you to sit around your thing. I'm trying to get you. Oh my goodness. You're going to make me press the button here. This is too easy. All right. I should be pressing the button right there. That's a super dot short.
Upper bands
after a move up into divergence on the high time frame. Touching the Bollinger, touched a red. We've got a 20 and a 987. We're probably going to float this area. Yeah, I'm going to take anyhow. You can learn the whole system in 8 sessions, and then you need to practice. Obviously, you need to have to put in some practice time on it, and every person's different how long they need to practice with it. I have a suggested set of 40 days, personally, but you can compact that. Use market replay, play it at high speed. And of course, I give guidance. If you come out here on the live streams, you can see how I use the system.
Fib.NQ on the 9. Double delta NQ.
Like has been smashed. Thanks, Big John in the house. Happy Friday, sir. You going out in the boat this weekend? It's beautiful here in Texas. What's Florida like these days? Oh, are you in Florida or Louisiana right now? Or you might be traveling around. You're part of the Nomad crew, so who knows? John could be anywhere. We don't know. Let's play Where's John today? John! Tell him where you are, sir. Or don't, if he's like, top secret. Only your mom knows. Damn you. So weekend in Louisiana. I'll be on the water. Nice. I saw some video that came on my feed the other day of a $1.2 million boat. That wasn't even that impressive. Well, 1.2 million for this boat called the Nut. And I was like,
so in 5 minutes time now.
What? John, I'm going to send you a video. I'm going to send you this video.
TV, the live video.
And I need you to tell me if this is some BS or not. 1.2 million for this one boat. Yeah, it had 4 engines across the back or whatever, but I'm like, it didn't look like that much of a boat to me. Maybe I don't know how much boats cost. That's why I'm like, I got to talk to the boat experts.
Fib.NQ on the 4. Fib.NQ on the 4.
Let me see if I can find this video. Hold on. Because I was sitting here, I'm like, there's no way.
Divergence down NQ on the 38.
But I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I don't know. I've never really boat shopped. All right, let me take a look, see if I can find it. Be on my history from last night. I think it came across. I wonder if it came across my feed because I've been watching some Patrick Weiland videos out on his boat, making fun of the ICT Sausage Fest on their boat versus his boat. I thought that was a pretty funny video. So now all of a sudden I'm getting boat advertisements. Now that I'm saying boat like 1,000 times, I'm sure I'm going to get more advertisements, right? That's apparently how things work these days. Let's see. It was on my Vinny Emini. Yesterday. Okay. Yeah, I'm too tall for my new $1.2 million boat. Okay, this is the one that came across my... All right. Let's see. John, your name was something about Nat Gas. Trying to remember your Discord name. Hold on a second. Something about Nat Gas. Powered by... That's what it is. Powered by liquid Nat Gas. Powered by LNG. There we go. All right. Send it to your Discord there. That's a $1.2 million boat. Maybe it's because of the things inside the boat. I mean, there's something nice on the boat. So maybe that's what it was. Overpriced? All right, have a look at that video and you tell me. Maybe it's the hidden peaches
DCDMNQ on
the boat. Salt protection, sea oceans. So Vinny, pick of Wind's boat. Yeah, send me a nice boat. What are you guys riding around on out there? You're like, I spent all weekend on the boat. I'm like, it better be a nice boat. I don't know. For me, maybe I don't know. I don't know. I've been out boating a few times. I don't like animals in the water, right? I'm not getting in there with things that are swimming around that swim better than me and can hold their breath longer. No, I'm not for it.
2-finger NQ on the 38.
Just generally. Now, if I'm cruising across the water sports, all right, put me on some skis, you know, moving fast across the glass. But then if I fall in the water, you better get, you know, across the glass, but my ass hits the ground. I'm in the water. Get me out of there. All right, don't let me float around in there. I'm not down with it. Pick me up quick, you know what I'm saying?
So we're shortly expecting comments from.
And if the animals don't get you, then the flesh-eating bacteria floating around in the water, you know, get you. No thanks.
Double Delta NQ on the 4.
Super nice. Bellissima yacht. Let's see. All right, so how much is a Bellissima yacht here? This thing. So see, that one's at least got a top and stuff on it, whatnot. Yeah, 2-story deck and stuff like that. Like, I could see that one being something pretty cool. But I'm like,
Fib.NQ on the 38. Fib.NQ on the 9. Fib.NQ on the 4. 2-finger NQ on the 38.
very nice, very nice.
Double Delta NQ on the 4.
Okay, so that yacht is 1.2. Yeah, so like I could see the one that you're sending me 1.2, but this other one I'm like, I think she got ripped off. I'm just saying. Okay. Super dot, double ready DD.
Double Delta NQ
You're
on
gonna
the
make
4.
me take this play. You're gonna make me take this play. It's a Friday.
Fib.NQ on the
I've
4.
got so many reasons. All right, I'm gonna pull the trigger. I'm gonna quarter position it, and so we've got a Titanic zone here. Double dot, super dots. To the bottom is how many ticks?
Divergence down NQ on the 9.
Button.
DCDMY
measure.
on the
I'm
6.
gonna go from here to here.
Fib.NQ on the
81.
4.
81 ticks. Another red dot there.
Treasury Secretary Bessent saying the tax permanence from the Republican bill is to offer certainty.
Fib.NQ on the 4.
For me, just generally speaking, one of the worst times of days for me to play here between 11 and noon. Just my stats in general. So I have to keep that in the back of my mind here. Like, this ain't boo. Gonna be one of those. Into the crab.
NQ on the 6.
Treasury Secretary Bessent says aiming for a 3% or so fiscal gap by 2028.
Fib.NQ on the 4.
Green dots holding. Stepping structures.
Fib.NQ on the 9.
They're gonna run it up through into lunch.
Upper bands touch NQ on the 38. Fib.NQ on the 9.
Don't crack that crab.
Upper bands touch NQ on the 30.
King
Double
crab.
NQ on the 4.
All right, so finally coming in with the Super AO up
Treasury
top
Secretary
there.
Besant says, I'm very optimistic on the outlook for the deficit.
Upper bands short on the Y on the 38. Double delta NQ on the 4.
Besant adding there's substantial revenue now coming in from tariffs. Iran's Foreign Minister Arakchi says there is potential for progress in the nuclear talks with proposals put forward by Oman.
Upper bands touch NQ on the 30. Double delta NQ on the 6.
Okay, got my double red color here.
Next couple of weeks, several large trade deals. That's Besant saying over the next couple of weeks, we're going to have several large trade deals announced.
This is the one time a day when things don't work for me, though.
Touch NQ on the 38.
Oy vey.
Double delta NQ on the 4.
Daddy might have to take the loss here.
Upper bands touch NQ on the 38.
Alright, I'm going to take the loss. Deal in halves.
Adding that I will be negotiating again in person with China.
Upper bands touch NQ on the 38.
Commentary from Fitch Ratings. They expect European gas prices to remain highly volatile, particularly as US tariff policy continues to shift.
Fib.NQ on the 4.
Be a big Titanic zone for me. Come on. No, don't do it.
And Treasury Secretary Besant says we may see a US-Germany reset under the new Chancellor Merz.
Fib.NQ on the 38.
Besant says it's wrong to think the bond markets are moving on the US
Fib.NQ on
Congress
the 9.
action. Says that the bond moves are global and disputes on the US tax bills impact. That's Besant there saying the bond moves are global and disputes the US tax bills impact.
Upper bands touch NQ on the 89. Touch NQ on the 38.
Besant adding he's not
Upper
particularly
bands
worried
touch
what the
NQ
market
on
is
the
thinking.
38. Upper bands touch NQ double on delta the 38. NQ on the 9.
Well, isn't that cute for you? Oh, the lunch run.
Besant says not worried about US debt dynamics.
Okay, late Nate, help me out. Be a super late Nate. Be a super late Nate. I don't really want to have to wait through lunch. It's a Friday. I'm not interested, bro. All right, super duper late Nate.
Double delta NQ on the
red dot up top
on the 38.
Hoping for at least a 1-bar drop.
Upper band.
There we go. All right. Let me out of this mess. Pulling half there.
On the 89.
I could Seuss it if we're going to go all the way through it.
Bethan says, I wouldn't necessarily categorize this as a weak dollar.
All right, I'm gonna kill it back in there. Whatever, dude. Whatever. I'm not here for it. I got no time for that. All right, so high time frame helping me out again.
The dollar is not falling.
Launching up into it.
Double delta NQ on the
high
6.
time frame, optimized range. The super saver,
Double delta
super monster would have been cool to just wait for it, because that drop right there, that's 172 ticks off of the red dot optimized range drop. Beautiful. Wish I would have made more on that. Oh, did my system just lock up here? I was about to press the generate button over here. Oh my word! What just happened? All right, I gotta reboot my computer, man. Can't get to certain websites. I got all kinds of issues going on here. All right, let me log back in here. That was like a full crash. I haven't had that in forever. I hope it's not the 285K. I really hope it's not. I think it's just a whole week of not rebooting. And lots of hibernation and sleep modes. Crossing fingers. All right, let me log back in here. Take a moment and hit that bell there for us.
Treasury Secretary Bessent says there is a lot of resistance to government spending cuts.
All right, let's reconnect here.
Bessent on the US deficit says, let's wait and see Trump's plan play out. Bessent says deregulation is to kick in for growth in Q3 or Q4 of 2026.
Statica, oh, I love to hear that. I've had a 285K for 2 months and haven't had any crashing issues. That's awesome to hear. Yeah, I think it's just related to leaving this thing on all week. Live stream stuff. Way too many browser tabs. Hibernating. Coming back on. Hibernating. Coming back on. All the things. I also noticed the webcam thing on the left. My desk cam is not working there. Fish and Ticks in the house. Happy Friday, sir. Yeah, my computer needs a reboot.
Besant says we're very close to moving the supplementary leverage ratio. That's Besant saying we could see the SLR move over the summer.
Let's see a bunch of calculating on all my other charts.
Besant says the shift.
Hey, thanks, Pastor Mike.
Impact on treasury yields.
Happy Friday, sir. Oh, come on.
Smash the like button.
Besant clarifies.
Come on.
Could bring down yields by tens of basis points.
This hasn't happened in months. All right. I don't think it's a 285K. I'm pretty sure it's just a week of me abusing the fact that I've had no issues whatsoever, letting it go to hibernate in the evenings, keeping it online, keeping too much stuff on. Let's see. Pulls out a bunch of tabs as well.
A few moments later.
Iran's Foreign Minister Arakchi on the nuclear talks says the possibility of progress in US talks is there.
All right.
Treasury Secretary
gave it long enough,
says when
not
trade
respond-
deals are sorted, we can focus
Right as I
on
go,
monetization.
I have my finger over the end task button. All of a sudden, my charts start blinking, and they're like, "Oh, hold on, let me wake up for you. Don't close me. Don't do it." Oh, I'm gonna end it. Da, 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 da. So my computer couldn't get to a couple of websites either, so I've got some problems. I don't know what's going on. Okay. Who was it that said they have the 285K? Let's see. Statica. Hey, here's what I'm getting on core speeds. Like, I never really see it get up to, like, I'm not getting 5.6. I'm not coming anywhere close to 6 gigahertz. My topside P cores are at 5.3. On my 14.9, I was spiking up to, 5.8, almost 6. Have you noticed the same thing on your 285K, that the P cores just stay at 5.32, or do I have something locked that's kind of keeping mine? What I did notice is that it's very stable and stays at 5.38, and my E cores are faster, but I really don't care about that. I don't need that. I just need the super speed, right? I need the high speed cores. Can you look at yours and let me know what you're getting there? If you want to send me some details in Discord, I'd appreciate kind of what you're getting. I haven't done any overclocking or any of that. I think I'm on XMP profile 2. It might be worth me trying XMP 1. I don't know. Once we get into the overclock stuff. But I really just don't like to mess with my computers. I like to just buy them and they just work. And my 14900 was pretty clean. It was just super good. So it's making me I gotta give it another week though. I literally just turned it on this week. Standard reboot at least once a week. Can't just leave it on all the time.
In 10 minutes time now, at the top of the hour, we are also expecting comments from Fed's Cook. Keep in mind, Besant is still speaking on Bloomberg TV. Besant adds that we had above target tax collections this filing season.
Double Delta NQ on the 4. Low Double Delta news of NQ on the FOMC member Cook speaks.
All right, so before we were so rudely interrupted,
lower bands NQ on the 38.
Here's where we're sitting there on the day. So with the bots here, we're up over 13. If I go to the summary here, 13,485. Oh, I just hit the analysis button and we're locking again. Are you kidding me? My computer is screaming for a reboot.
Treasury Secretary Besant says the G7 was very concerned about imbalances around China. So we're noting Treasury is outperforming swaps here following Treasury Secretary Besant pledging SLR reforms in his interview here on Bloomberg TV. Again, that's just Treasury's outperforming swaps at the moment.
Well, it's doing something. We are maxed out. What is it doing?
Lower bands touch NQ on the 38. Double delta NQ
and
on
there it goes.
NQ on the
All right. Done thinking about it?
NQ on the double delta lower bands touch NQ on the 9. Fib.NQ on the 4 on the 38. Lower bands touch NQ on the 38. Lower bands touch NQ on the 38.
Okay, so the market just go nuts or what?
NQ on the 4.
Did I lose my drawing as well? Oh, I lost track of where the super is. All right, hold on. Gonna go back patiently, grab this one right here.
Double delta NQ on the 4.
Now at the top of the hour, we're expecting possible comments from Fed's Cook.
Well, speaking of Cook, they put in their shorts orders. Okay, so we're still above it.
Fib.NQ on the 38. Enigma long on the NQ4.
Okay, so moonshot to the long side. Let's see if we don't touch that. Well, if we come up to it, I'm going to short it. Okay, touch the Enigma target. Waiting for the Seuss entry.
Fib.NQ on the 9. Fib.NQ on the 4. Fib.NQ on the 9.
King timing. Okay, do not want it to climb that ladder.
Double delta NQ on the 4.
Super dot.
They disbelieved on a faith basis only.
HMD.
Every single trade that I showed examples of. And normally I do a pretty in-depth editing process.
Okay, I'm half as confident in my play, so I got to peel half at my POE.
Shortly expecting comments from Fed's Cook.
Okay, that guy ultimately was right, so now I can Seuss it on the way down. Seuss.
So some commentary from the White House AI czar says restricting the sale of EUV lithography equipment to China is the single most important export control that we have in the area of semiconductors. So that's EUV lithography equipment he's referencing.
$36.
So seeing text release from Fed's Cook.
Trying to hold out for my 40, but it gave 36 ticks. I'm being greedy.
Income households. A sufficient large income shock could push up defaults and lead to losses for lenders. Watching commercial real estate closely, and the treasury market is functioning orderly during the April volatility.
Fib.NQ on the 4.
$25. Give me my full 40 bag, dadgummit.
Enigma short on the NQ4.
Thank you. Not a pain in the... You know what?
Lower bands touch NQ on the 38.
$12.01.
Fib.NQ on the 4. Lower bands touch NQ on the 38.
I am just toe in the water, trying to hold a toe in the water all the way into what, again, my original thoughts and ideas were to get us back into that area where the short sale guys, they should have collected all kinds of contracts up there, and it's pre-noon, so through 12:30, I'm hoping they should be able to continue and hold that on.
Lower bands touch NQ on the 38.
Don't like that they just sweep to the target. That's oftentimes
Lower
a sign
bands touch
of
NQ on the 38.
they return the opposite direction. Yeah, when we came down and just touched that.
Speech
So
from Fed's Cook on the feed.
that's what it was again. How big is that? It's just 200. That's fine.
Upper bands touch NQ on the 38. Upper bands
that's
touch
400.
NQ on the 38.
Okay. Never mind. Okay, 10.3 came in on
Upper bands touch
the
NQ
9.
on
Should
the
have just
38.
waited for that one. Deuce.
Upper bands touch NQ on the 38th. Divergence down NQ on the 9.
High time frame opportunity, lower time frame risk. Gonna try to play it out.
NQ on the 38th.
Holy cow, I just got 100 ticks.
NQ on the 38th.
What just happened? Did I just lock up? Hold up.
Two finger NQ on the 89. Enigma long on the NQ4. Fib dot lower bands touch NQ on the 38th. Lower bands touch NQ on the 38th.
Silent, no sound to make it. Look high, no surprise. They hold the line. Thinking about but whispers, now's the time. Moving silent, no sound.
Speed of NQ 95.
Box humming, eyes on the break. Super alpha, omega, I'm reading the charts. Confluence hits, I play it smart. Ripples inland, the tides come through. Holding my breath as I make my move. Like free fashion, the target's in sight. Bollinger Bands, squeeze the night. In the shadows, moving real slow. Super moon guides me, I know where to go. Enigma bar calls, I follow the trade. From night till day, I'm never afraid. Stuck in the shadows, playing it tight. Alpha Omega leads me through the fight. Confluence hits, the moment's right. In the dark, I claim my light. I'll go bar shift, I feel the fight. Taking in time, the trade's alive. Super moon glowing, markets align. I'm holding back, waiting for the sign. Price about to snap, the squeeze gets real. Bollinger tightens, I'm ready to feel. Candles move, I'm locked in deep. In this moment, I make the leap. Oh, master pings, the tension's high. Enigma bot whispers, the stakes rise. Super moon glowing, markets align. I'm holding back, waiting for the sign. Price about to snap, the squeeze gets real. Bollinger tightens, I'm ready to feel. Shadows move, I'm locked in deep. In this moment, I make the leap. Flow master pings, the tension's high. Enigma bot whispers, the stakes rise. Super alpha omega got me in sync. I ride the wave as it starts to shrink.